Hey, welcome to another episode of Chad's Beer Reviews, and happy 4th of July to everybody out there. Of course, if you're not American, it's just another weekend to you, probably. So I tried to go with some kind of, patriotic themed beer, and I thought a baseball themed beer was adequate or appropriate or whatever. This is the Cooperstown Brewing Company's Pride of Milford Special Ale. It's brewed in Cooperstown, New York. I love the baseball bottle cap they got on all their beers. I had to print out off their website the description. It's very long, so pause if you want to read it. It's just basically it's like an English strong ale, 7.7% ABV. You know, considering it's 4th of July, I should be wearing red, white, and blue, but kind of going with the whole purple color scheme here. So let's get into this beer. All right, as the description said, reddish copper color. I guess I'd agree with that. Kind of a burnt umber, almost like a super dark orange. Rather hazy, actually. Can see a little bit of carbonation in there. Not much head on there. It's tan, yellowish, foamy, soapy. It's fizzling away already. You can actually hear it fizzle away when I poured it. It does smell like I guess what they're going for, English strong ale style. I definitely get like a kind of syrupy kind of smell, kind of caramel, toffee. Very malty smelling beer. I don't smell anything in here that's floral or citrusy or anything indicating a lot of hops. No alcohol either for 7.7%, so let's give it a taste. Wow. That's, it's not an amazing beer, but, Cooperstown, I feel like they make, like, very average beers, and the fact that they're going for a stronger beer with this type of style or whatever is pretty impressive. Like I said with the aroma, is kind of the caramel and toffee, syrupy kind of flavors to it. It's remarkably sweet, but not super rich and cloying. What's interesting is that the beer itself is actually rather thin. Like, it even has like kind of like a watery consistency to it. I'm noticing like just how like, as syrupy as it tastes, the actual mouthfeel is nothing like that at all. It's very thin. It's rather flat. Head is pretty much gone now, so there's no, creaminess or foaminess or anything. Get a little bit of bitterness right across the middle, like middle of the swig, middle of the tongue. Not a particularly bitter beer. It's rather robust, I guess. It's like I said, sweet, but not like overly sweet. Slight bitterness to kind of balance that out. Get like just like a tad bit of warmth as it's going down. What's interesting is that for such a strong beer, it's rather quite refreshing. Even more impressive considering, the sticky kind of sweetness to it. Well, I mean, I guess, in retrospect, it's really not that sweet. They're going for a so-called English strong style. So it is kind of like, reminds me a lot of the other American ESBs I've had, or when an American brewery tries to do an English pale ale style, similar to that. They mentioned on the description that people tend to get a fruity flavor. There's no adjuncts in it. That's coming from the yeast and the malt and all that stuff. It is, I'd say it's definitely reminiscent of English pub beers. Slightly stronger, slightly more robust. But what's interesting at the same time is that, it's like so flat and tepid. It's refreshing, 7.7% beer tend not to do that. They tend to be more of like about the energy, about the flavor than any kind of, refreshing sessionability or whatever. Kind of going off on a rant here, getting all existential or whatever. But anyways, Pride of Milford Special Ale. I probably wouldn't say it's anything special. I think it's special for Cooperstown because, this is probably their best beer. But it's their least American beer. I I like it. It's good. It's not amazing. You know, it's far from perfect. So I'm gonna give this an honest and fair grade. I think of 7 out of 10. You know, it's good. It's good. It's not great. It's not bad. Far from bad, I'd say. I think your average American craft beer drinker, whether they're newbie or veteran, would like this. So that does it for this episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Thanks to you guys for watching, and have a happy 4th of July, and I'll see you next time. Bye.